I think that he needs to have his Floyd Mayweather moment. And both the champions are going to know what I'm talking about. That moment that he had with Diego Corrales, where he went and took him apart. And Floyd, some people were saying the same thing a little bit, not as much, but a little bit about Floyd. He's a defensive fighter, he doesn't take chances, you can't hit him, all those kind of things. And then he goes in there with Diego Corrales, who good puncher, good fighter, champion, tremendous. And he takes him apart.
January 31st, 2026 is getting closer, and the energy around Madison Square Garden is already intense. When elite fighters meet, fans usually debate power against speed. But Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez brings a different feeling. This is more than a regular matchup. It is a clash between perfect control and explosive instinct. Teddy Atlas describes Teofimo's ability as neon talent, something rare and hard to predict. Odds makers remain cautious, yet many experts expect disorder in the ring. The main question is clear. Can Shakur's defense shut everything down, or does Teofimo carry a special edge that can destroy even the best strategy?
Teofimo has those it factors, those special qualities, those explosive skills, those neon talents that I often talk about, that you either have them or you don't have them. Where, whether you want to call it the quick twitch, muscles, fibers, whatever you want to call it, but he has those kind of explosive abilities. And that makes him a guy that, if he's on that particular night, it puts him at a different level.
Teddy Atlas has watched boxing at every level, and when he studies Teofimo Lopez, he sees qualities that numbers cannot explain. He talks about sudden flashes of greatness that cannot be taught. Atlas calls these neon talents moments where instinct takes over. In his view, fighters either have this gift or they do not. Shakur Stevenson is calm, precise, and technically flawless. Teofimo is unpredictable and dangerous. Atlas believes that this unpredictability is his biggest strength. Against average opponents, he may look uneven, but under bright lights, his instincts shine. That is the real danger Shakur faces, a fighter who performs best in chaos.
Would Teofimo knock out Shakur? No. Can Teo adjust to the point where he beats Shakur? Yeah. You don't see how? Shakur hates slick and economic boxers. So does Teo. They both hate where each other are. Shakur looks great against volume punchers. De Los Santos sitting back and not being active, Shakur doesn't look good. That's when they say he's boring. The thing is, Teofimo Lopez is an excellent fighter. He beat Josh Taylor and Lomachenko. How did he beat Lomachenko? By being patient. Y'all sleeping on Teo. And it's at 140. Now the thing what's wrong with Teo is, Teo also looks good as a counter puncher when you are a volume puncher too. Another thing is, Teo looks very great when he's dialed in. He fights more athletic than Shakur. Shakur fights far more technically sound, and he's a more gifted fighter skill-wise. I'm leaning towards Shakur, but Teo can...
While Atlas focuses on the unknown element, Hall of Fame trainer Abel Sanchez has shocked many with his prediction. He does not expect a knockout, and he does not see a clear winner. Instead, Sanchez believes this fight could end without either man taking control. His pick is a draw.
Shakur's a great talent, and Teofimo looked great in his last fight. Of course, he didn't have Shakur in front of him, but I think that for Shakur, he has to keep the fight at his distance. If he does that, I think it's a win for him. Teofimo, he's more, he wants to draw you and he wants to counter punch. He's gonna have to be a different guy this time. He's gonna have to attack. He's gonna have to be leading the fight, or else it's gonna be a boring fight. I don't think it'll be a boring fight, but if he sits back and waits for Shakur, Shakur's going to wait for him, then it's not going to be exciting. But I think Teofimo will attack. I think Teofimo has to attack. I think Teofimo has to do what Zepeda did, except for Teofimo's a lot more talented than Zepeda was. So I think that, I honestly, I see a draw. I don't know why I see a draw, but I just see them both having great rounds and giving us the kind of fight that I think the public is looking for.
Sanchez explains his view in a blunt way. For Teofimo to win, he must press forward and accept risk. For Shakur to succeed, he must control distance and stay strict with his plan, even if the fight slows down. Sanchez feels these styles may balance each other perfectly. Both fighters will have strong moments, but neither may dominate. A draw in a fight of this size would cause debate, yet given the styles, it is very possible.
I think it's really that time for him to really take his first loss and, me whoop his ass to the point where either he quits on the stool or I knock him out. How I see this fight being played out is with me pretty much setting that momentum for the people out there as well. Not really trying to force for it. However, I can't be too technical with Shakur. You got to make it a little ugly. You got to make it a little ugly. If you try to be too technical with Shakur, it could be too long of a weighted chess match. Certain people don't want to see that. They don't want to see pop shots. You know what I mean? They want to see good action. I have yet to see, and I think you could attest with me, I don't think we have seen Shakur face anyone higher than who he's going to face next, and that's of me. So, I definitely, commend him at least for stepping up to the plate. But I think it's time. I think it's really that time for him to really take his first loss and, me whoop his ass to the point where either he quits on the stool or I knock him out.
You really believe that, because everyone will say, oh man, Shakur is probably one of the best defensive fighters in the game. You really believe you can stop Shakur Stevenson?
The physical contest has not started yet, but the mental battle is already active. Things became personal when Teofimo said he would force Shakur to quit on his stool. Shakur responded with action. He revealed that he cancelled his Thanksgiving plans and chose training over rest. He made it clear there would be no break. This shows total focus. Still, Lamont Roach questions Teofimo's mindset. He believes Lopez may struggle in a long 12-round thinking fight. Roach says if Teofimo fails to land something big early, frustration will build, mistakes will appear, and Shakur will slowly take him apart.
He a little cuckoo too, like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while.
So who do you think wins that fight between him and Teofimo Lopez if they fight?
I think Shakur wins. And I don't think it's going to be like a super tough fight either. His IQ will frustrate him.
Don't you think Teo has also good ring IQ and also is slick, fast?
I think explosive? So, but when you look at Teo's performances against guys that are just pure boxers, it's just like he almost lost to Sandor Martin. Some people thought he lost to Sandor Martin.
He did beat Loma, who's arguably at the time considered one of the best in the world.
He did, and that was a hell of a performance too. A hell of a performance too. So yeah, I mean, I think he's hit or miss. You got to think he got stuff. He a little cuckoo too. Like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while. Look at the Kambosos fight. Like that's a fight that people would never expect Kambosos to win. And he won a grueling match against him as well. So I just, I don't know. I don't think he can get it done against Shakur when it comes to like, cause it's going to be just a skill match. I don't think he's going to try to rough Shakur up, and it's probably not going to work.
Those who have shared rounds with these fighters notice details others miss. Dalton Smith, who has trained with Shakur since their amateur days, calls him special and slightly favors him. Even so, Smith admits that this matchup is extremely close and could go either way.
I think it's a great matchup. I'd probably have to favour Shakur in that on points. But like I said, Teofimo, one hell of a fighter. It really is a 50-50 fight. And of course I'll be keeping my eye on that. But what a time to be a fighter in the 140-pound division. It's exciting.
Absolutely. I think have you sparred with Shakur? I think I saw you in the interview talk about what was that sparring like and why is he the favorite over Teo?
I just think how he's progressed over the years. You can't deny Shakur's one hell of a fighter. He's a boxer. I don't think he's the biggest puncher, but his boxing and IQ and skills is a great fighter. And obviously, I remember Shakur from back in the junior days. Shakur's a good guy, and he's just one hell of a fighter.
Was it really difficult to hit him? Was his defense really that great?
No, it was many years ago. Obviously, the sparring's are competitive. It was great. Obviously, we used to go over. I went over a couple of times to Colorado for the training camps. I used to go with the Great Britain team, and we learned valuable lessons going over there, mixing it with the USA team, and all that over the years brings us to these moments now.
Keyshawn Davis, a teammate of Shakur, gives his view of how the fight may unfold. He expects Shakur to control the early rounds with speed and sharp movement. Later, he believes Teofimo will adjust and use his strength and power to shift momentum. Davis also notes that losing this fight would not ruin Teofimo's career unless it becomes embarrassing. If Shakur completely outclasses him and makes him look lost, the idea of a takeover may be finished.
I see it playing out, let's say, I see it starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is going to eventually start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, you know, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair one.
Especially for that to be his brother.
I think it's going to be close. I think it'll be closer than people think.
Taylor's
I think it'll be closer than people think.
good.
Hey, one thing I can say, though, because, I've been seeing, we've been amateur together and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Teo can fight.
I'm telling you that. Teo can fight.
Winning back
If you said he couldn't, you'd be lying.
Right. That's a real assessment, though. I think Shakur still wins, but it's going to be closer than what people think.
Teo is nice. A lot, man, no doubt.
Yeah, and Keyshawn, speaking of Teo, you know, you've been vocal about your desire to fight Teofimo Lopez. And of course, I was there in Las Vegas, right, when you FaceTime Teo. Now Teo's fighting Shakur Stevenson. But do we see Keyshawn and Teo at some point?
How was Teo acting when I FaceTimed him? Since you brought it up, how was he acting?
You tell me. You tell the people.
Why do I gotta tell you?
You gotta tell him anyway.
Right.
How was he acting? How was he acting?
Hey, all I'm gonna say is he was not motivated.
Right.
He kept saying he wanted boots.
But look,
he kept saying he wanted boots.
What you asked me again? Because I want to answer that. What'd you say?
No, do we see you and Teo fight in the future?
Depending on what Shakur do with him.
Hey, losing to Shakur, though, that can't be a death sentence, right? We can still see Teo back.
It depends how bad he loses.
I was about to say.
So you think it's going to be bad?
Let's say he loses a competitive fight.
Yeah,
I think that would be the most common answer is Shakur outpoints him in a very competitive fight.
Beats him.
What then? What then for you and Teo?
For the businessman, huh?
All right, cool. Okay, since you worded it like that, I don't, because I won't go say that shit.
Max Kellerman points out one major detail many people ignore. Teofimo Lopez asked for this fight. At a time when most fighters avoid Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo stepped forward and demanded the challenge. That confidence matters.
Is a real super fight, and I said this on the broadcast for Crawford and Canelo, can't be promoted into existence.
Right.
What a real super fight is, the dust settles in an era, and there are two dudes left standing. There's Ali, there's Frazier, there's Leonard, there's Hagler, there's Mayweather, there's Pacquiao. That's a super fight, right? There's Crawford, there's Canelo. Those are two big fighters of the era. This type of fight, this could easily be at the end of an era, because Teo might be a dude left standing and Shakur could be the dude left standing, right?
I agree.
But it could happen now. It could happen now.
Sean Porter gives Shakur a small edge, calling it 60-40. However, he reminds everyone that Teofimo's explosive style is part of who he is. We have seen this story before. Against Lomachenko, few believed in him. Against Josh Taylor, many thought he was done. In both cases, he proved everyone wrong. Teofimo has earned a reputation for shocking the world when expectations are low, and history shows betting against him can be costly.
Teofimo Lopez. Another easy fight. The problem with him is he's too delusional to go in the gym and fix his mistakes. So I ain't even gonna, I can't say it all. Like I said, I'm gonna make that fight look easy.
This matchup feels like a battle of opposites. On one side is Shakur Stevenson, a defensive master who gave up holidays to sharpen his skills. On the other is Teofimo Lopez, driven by natural talent and a past filled with major wins. The question remains simple. Will Shakur's discipline break Teofimo's focus, or will Teofimo's fearless style claim another huge name? Opinions are divided. Trainers talk about draws, and both fighters are ready for war.
He's just not a talented guy, he's ultra talented. And he's got some great hand speed, and his feet work very well.
Absolutely.
So he's kind of hard, he's an elusive guy to catch up to. And if that's what his game plan is, if he's successful with that, Teo is the guy that may not like the way that Shakur fights when they get in the ring. He may not, he may stop and stump his feet and say, "Come on, man, let's fight."
Yeah, let's fight.
Shakur may say, "Nah, we're not fighting. We're boxing."
Yep, and that's what I was gonna finish off with. A lot of people saying this is a 60-40 fight, 70-30, being Shakur the favorite. Do you see it that way, or do you think this is a 50-50 fight?
Nah, you said 60-40?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely. No, T.O.'s definitely in this fight. He's in it to win it. I think. I mean, we talking pure boxing.
Yeah.
Shakur, but we talk a dog. T.O.
Yeah.
And T.O.'s just as fast. I mean, like, there's speed and there's elite speed. T.O.'s got speed. Shakur's got elite speed. But that's not too far off, especially when you're not a come forward fighter. Shakur's not a come forward, step to you with my speed and hurt you with my speed type fighter.
Yeah.
So, you know, that speed gets neutralized when you're moving in the other direction.
Absolutely.
It's neutralized when you're moving in the other direction. No, it's not 60-40. It's a 50-50 fight.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it from...
Who do you see winning this clash of styles? Share your choice in the comments below. That is all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you do not miss future content. Drop your thoughts in the comments section.